What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Taylor's broken heart syndrome comes back when Ridge breaks up with her. The Bold and the Beautiful that Taylor Hayes will collapse when she realizes that Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester are back together. Naturally, numerous individuals attempted to warn Taylor, but he refused to listen. Will Ridge's decision cause a major setback for Taylor? Taylor Hayes died in Los Angeles. She was convinced that Taylor was dying from heart failure when she first returned to the city. Grace Buckingham, on the other hand, informed her that she was experiencing broken heart syndrome. Naturally, Taylor's fans saw Ridge doing everything he could to help him recover. Ridge even employed a chakra healer for assistance. Naturally, this caused problems for Ridge and Brooke because some of the positions they got into while doing those exercises didn't sit well with Brooke. Following Ridge's disagreement with Brooke regarding Carter Walton's acquisition of Forrester Creations, he moved in with Taylor at Eric Forrester's residence. Taylor Hayes was warned by everyone. Taylor was told by everyone that Ridge and he would get together in Italy. Since Ridge and Brooke broke up, Eric had tried to reassure Taylor that they would get back together. He tried to explain that Ridge was mad at Brooke. Although Taylor was furious at Eric for being honest, she will soon realize that he was correct. As soon as everyone left for the trip, Katie Logan and Donna Forrester spoke with Taylor. Donna and Katie made an effort to persuade her that Ridge and Brooke belonged together and that things would change once they spent time together. Until Ridge tells Taylor the truth when he returns home, Taylor will not believe them. Taylor Hayes will break up once more. Taylor will end up collapsing again once Ridge breaks their engagement. Taylor was of the opinion that Ridge would never come back to Brooke after he had accepted her proposal. Ridge, on the other hand, was aware of the fact that Brooke was close to death on that trip to Italy. Ridge simply cannot live without Brooke, and Taylor sees that. According to spoilers, Taylor will once more pack up and leave the city. Taylor could undoubtedly go with Steffy Forrester now that she is out of town. Steffy can hear all about how her father come back with Brooke again. Will Taylor finally realize that Ridge and Brooke belong together and move on? Brooke receives Nick's proposal. Many of the characters in the Bold and the Beautiful video preview will be considering their futures. One of the characters may be contemplating retribution as a marriage proposal is made. A preview of what's to come from August 11th to 15th is provided here. The Forresters are currently back in Los Angeles following their exciting trip to Italy. During a boat ride with Nick, Brooke nearly drowned when she jumped overboard. Ridge, fortunately, was able to save Logan. Brooke is contemplating her future and will have to make an important decision following her near-death experience. When Nick stops by Forrester Creations to check on her, he has a surprise. Because he loves Brooke, Nick shows her a ring and says that this isn't over. In Italy, Brooke was all set to ride off with Nick into the sunset, but have her feelings changed? In the meantime, Ridge's affection for Brooke has returned after she nearly drowned. Yet, there's a problem keeping Ridge from reuniting: Ridge's engagement to Taylor. Taylor is updated on what happened in Italy by Ridge this week. Taylor declares that Brooke's future is without Ridge when the conversation shifts to her love life. After that, Taylor says that she won't take off her ring. Sheila discovered that Luna is still alive after sneaking unannounced into Lee's home. Sheila is overcome with emotion knowing her granddaughter isn't dead. But she has a lot of questions for Lee, the most important of which is why Lee saved Luna. Will Lee give Sheila the answers she wants? Grace confessed to lying about Liam's brain tumor. Bill's reaction paled in comparison to Liam's fury over Grace's manipulation. Dollar Bill is shocked and furious, as expected, so it appears that Grace's punishment has only begun. Taylor Hayes had been through heartbreak before, but nothing could have prepared her for the emotional devastation that was about to rip through her life like an unexpected storm on the California coast. It all started when Ridge Forrester got back from a trip to Italy, which many people had told her would end her engagement. She had held on to the stubborn and almost hopeless belief that nothing could break their bond. Ridge had accepted her proposal, supported her in her most vulnerable moments, and even participated in unconventional chakra healing sessions to assist her in recovering from the broken heart syndrome that had previously nearly cost her life. Grace Buckingham was the one who diagnosed her with stress-induced cardiomyopathy, a condition that was not caused by clogged arteries but rather by the emotional anguish of loss and betrayal. At the time, doctors thought she was dying from heart failure. She believed that Ridge had served as her anchor during that time, guiding her through breathing exercises, holding her when she wept, and doing everything in her power to keep her in this world. Yet the irony was bitter. The very man who had once been her healer was now about to become the trigger for the condition's terrifying return. For weeks, the warning signs had been there. Taylor had been warned by Eric Forrester not to get too comfortable in Ridge's arms in a gentle but direct manner. He had seen this cycle play out too many times. Ridge, drifting toward Brooke Logan like a moth to a flame, and Brooke, unable to resist him no matter how scorched they both became in the process. Taylor detested hearing it. She'd shut down conversations, insisted Eric was being pessimistic, even snapped at him for suggesting that the man she loved might still be carrying a torch for his ex-wife. Taylor had dismissed Donna Logan and Katie Logan's attempts to bring up the topic, carefully reminding her that Ridge and Brooke had a history that defied logic. She had thought the Logans were just trying to create doubt. She clung to the vision of her future with Ridge like a drowning woman clings to a life raft, but sometimes, holding on to something that isn't truly yours is what pulls you under fastest. The trip to Italy was supposed to be a business trip with a touch of leisure, a glamorous Forrester Creations event. Taylor had believed that her relationship was secure enough for her to watch Ridge travel with Brooke without being afraid. She underestimated the power of proximity, however, and how a fleeting glance on a boat ride or shared laughter over a cappuccino in a sunlit piazza could rekindle old feelings. Additionally, Italy was a land of love like no other. Ridge was experiencing moments that would alter the course of all of their lives, while Taylor was waiting and imagining back in Los Angeles. On that trip, a dramatic incident had sealed Brooke's place in Ridge's heart once more. Brooke had once seriously considered building a future with a playful dare that had gone horribly wrong during a boat ride with Nick Marone. Always impulsive, Brooke had jumped into the water in all of her clothes, hoping for an exciting splash in the warm Italian afternoon. She was unable to keep her head above water in a flash because the current was stronger than anticipated. Nick, panicked, tried to reach her, but Ridge was faster, diving in and pulling her to safety. The moment he had her in his arms, sputtering and clinging to him, something inside him shifted. Life was too short, he realized, to spend another day apart from the woman who had been both his greatest love and his greatest challenge. Taylor didn't know it yet, but Brooke's near-death experience was the catalyst that would destroy her engagement. Even when Ridge got back to his house, Taylor noticed that when Brooke's name came up, he had soft eyes and his voice was slightly lower, almost reverent, as if talking about her required a different register. However, she refused to accept the worst. That is, until he sat her down and told her everything the night before. The conversation started cautiously. Ridge talked about Italy, the boat ride, and the times when he had to rethink his priorities. Even though she tried to conceal it, Taylor's heart rate increased. After that, the words, "Taylor, I can't marry you," fell like an axe. "With Brooke, I'm back." The room appeared to tilt for a brief moment. Her breathing was labored and short. She could feel the tightness in her chest, the same crushing sensation she'd experienced before, when broken heart syndrome had landed her in the hospital. But this time it felt worse, sharper, more final. She stood up too quickly, her legs trembling, and collapsed before Ridge could even reach out to steady her. Ridge's face was covered in a mask of guilt and fear as the paramedics lifted her onto the stretcher. Memories of the last time this happened of hospital rooms and whispered prayers flashed in his mind. But unlike before, there was no hopeful glimmer that he could be her savior. No amount of chakra healing could alleviate the pain he was causing her. When Brooke got to the hospital, she was torn between worrying about Taylor's health and the awkward fact that she had caused Taylor to collapse. Taylor, semi-conscious, heard Brooke's voice and felt another pang deep in her chest.